Well, good evening. It's Sunday evening. We talked earlier today about what we're going to be doing every Sunday, and so here it is. I'm going to do the first recipe, or the first recipe that we're going to film. It's not the first recipe that I've done for the book, but this one's a pappardelle with a lemon white wine reduction, but it's got a little bit of a kick to it. So here are all the ingredients, including the white wine that I'm drinking as we're making it. A little bit about that. So this is a short recipe, which is great because if it was a long one, you keep drinking by the time you finish it, blah, but this one shouldn't be too long. So what I'm going to do is first show you the ingredients. All right, so we have shallots. So I love shallots. They're cross between the onion and garlic. They're sweet. They're great. We got garlic. We have lemons, and we're going to use lemon juice from the lemons and the lemon zest. We got butter. We got parsley. Parmesan, which I've already grated because that would be a real pain in the ass to do it on film. We've got Calabrian red flaked pepper, and we've got Sicilian olive oil, lemon olive oil. We have a Calabrese chili olive oil mix, and then the secret ingredient tonight, it's hot. So this is a very spicy dish. This is a Calabrian Ndjua oil. Ndjua is like it's a salami paste, and we're going to be putting that in the dish as well. And it's really hot. If you don't want that, you could, leave it out. But man, I like it hot. It's great. And then at the end of the deal, we're going to top off with obviously Parmesan and parsley. But this stuff here is called Muddica. So the recipe name is it's a Pappardelle Limone, Ndjua, Muddica, or Muddica. And it's basically fried breadcrumbs. I make these like once a week with leftover bread that I get. Like I love the sourdough from Central Market. Let it sit a couple of days, put it in a processor, like real not too fine, and then I fry it in an olive oil with anchovies and garlic and different Italian spices. And, just kind of keep frying it until it's really golden crisp. Then I put it in sort of these mason jars. I make about 2 jars a week. This shit is fun. It's great. It's like you could put it on top of pasta instead of Parmesan, or you could put it on salad. It gives a little crunchiness to it. And it's pretty spicy. I add, after I make it, I put it in a baking dish. I lay it over here, and I sprinkle it with the red peppers and Parmesan and let it sit, and then it's awesome. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to cut the parsley, and then I'm going to go into the shallots. I'm not going to film the entire process, but for parsley, what I like to do is when I grab a bunch, I like to kind of shave it, like cut it like that to flake off the leaves, and so I don't have to sit there and pull them off the stem. It's sort of like giving it like a little haircut. And then I put it in a bunch and I chop it. Now, I'm going to chop a bunch of parsley. Some of it I'm going to use for the meal, but the rest I'm going to put in a little prep bowl with some minced garlic. And I saved that. So the parsley has the garlic in it. That's another substitute for Parmesan on top of a pasta or a salad. It's great. It's just something different. Anyway, so that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to cut up the ingredients, kind of old school. I like to put them in prep bowls, so when I'm ready to cook, I just dump it in versus sliding it off a board, because then all kinds of shit goes chaotic if you miss something. This way I know all my ingredients are here. So this here is this little special sauce. This is Ndjua oil, which is that Calabrese hot oil, just a tad bit. It's super hot, so you got to be careful how much you use. If you like stuff spicy, knock yourself out, put it in there. If you're on the mild side, I'd kind of omit it. But in any event, I'm going to be chopping up. I'll come back. We'll start the process, and welcome to my kitchen for a Sunday night. All right, we're back. So now I'm going to chop some of the parsley, just get it really finely chopped. Just keep working that blade, and save some of it for like I told you, for that little condiment that I make with garlic, and I'll be mincing the garlic here in a minute. So you know, you have to have knife skills to do this stuff. And, you know, it's kind of interesting to kind of talk and do this. And you don't want to do a Julia Childs and cut your finger off like in, you know, Saturday Night Live when, oh, let someone get the tourniquet, you know. So anyway, we're doing that. I'm heating the water for the pasta already, and about to start the oil in the pan. So take a break. And we're back. So now the garlic. Now I was at this cooking class at Sur La Table. It was awesome. It was a lot of fun, and they got all kinds of little gizmos, you know, like to put this little garlic in a roller, roll it, and the peel comes off. And I'm like, I don't know about that, you know. I mean, I'm sure they, you know, they want to sell their stuff, but old school fashion, man. Just smash it with a knife, the back of your hand, bam. You know, it might fly all over the place, but it ain't gonna kill you. So that's your garlic there. You know, kind of take the skins off and chop it. Now, shallots are a little difficult. So it's my little pull-out trash. I love this new remodel of my kitchen. You got to get that sort of skin off. Now, you could take, you know, a few layers off. It's okay. It's just you want to get that paper skin off because that's kind of nasty. And, you know, rub it in your hands, get it off. And then, you know, sometimes the shallots are come in like 2 pieces. Break them in half. That's okay. And you want to finely slice these. I kind of use a razor blade sometimes, but my knife is pretty sharp. So these will be finely sliced. So when I put them in the olive oil, they kind of melt. So it's not chopped. It's just real thinly sliced. And then we'll do the lemon peel on top of that. All right, we're back. So magic of like on and off again with the remote is awesome. So you can see what I'm doing right now is this shallot is very thinly sliced. And, you know, I don't know if you cook with shallots a lot, it's a really sweet, I love the taste of shallots. It's just, I use it, you know, mostly in just about everything I do with garlic. And I use onion from time to time, but, you know, shallots, when you cut them thin and they just melt, they're great. So I'm going to keep preparing those. And the garlic, I've already smashed it, taken off the skins. Every once in a while there'll be some on there. It's not going to kill you. And then you just want to, you know, mince the garlic, right? And I'm going to mix, you know, the garlic and the shallots. Great smell. It lasts for days in the house. It's really, really awesome. So, and then I'm going to show you how to do the lemon zesting. You know, food snobs say you should move the lemon up and down the zester. This is a zester here, or you should move the zester up and down the lemon. It really doesn't matter as long as you're not, you know, getting most of the white. You just get the lemon peel for the zest. Anyway, so let me finish this up, and then we'll come back and I'll have everything ready, and then we'll start cooking it. All right, we're back. So now I've got the shallots cut, garlic, parsley, Parmesan, the Muddica, which shit is so hot. It's a sort of it's a Calabrian salami with pork, and it's great. It's a spread, but it's really good in pasta. I've got the pan going here with the butter and the olive oil that we talked about. And now I'm going to zest while that's kind of heating on a low flame. I'm going to kind of let that zest. The zesting is like food snobs are like, you should move this versus that. I mean, you just kind of whatever works for you. And you just want to make sure you're not getting too much of the rind, and just you want to get the outside just for the, you know, that zest is great. If you get the white pitty part, it ain't going to kill you, but it doesn't taste as good as the actual yellow part. So I'm kind of doing a couple of lemons here while that's heating up, and then we'll put it all together and it'll be done in a flash. I got the water boiling, put the pappardelle in there in a minute. I like it al dente. And got to take a break and have a glass of wine. So right now I'm drinking this white that from Stanley Tucci show. This her name is Arianna Osapenti, and she's a female winemaker in Sicily. And she's got great. This is a SP68. I found it in some online merchant, and it's phenomenal. You ought to get yourself some. And then she's got some reds as well that are really good too. So I would pause this and get back to preparing this, and I'll come back in a second. Here we go. So I've added the shallots into the pan here, and it's a medium low heat. And I'll tell you, these cast iron pots, it's like cassette pots. I love them. they're great, they're gorgeous, but they really stay hot. So you really have to watch. And sometimes if something says a medium heat, you might want to kind of go to a medium low, because these things, man, they get hot quick and they stay hot, which is awesome. So I'm going to do the shallots here for about 15 minutes till they get translucent, and you'll smell them. They're just awesome. And then we're going to throw in the garlic, the lemon zest, which I've prepared here, and we're getting there. Then I'm going to throw in the wine. I'm going to use the Ariana's wine. Great wine to drink, great wine to cook with. If you're going to cook with something, then cook what you're going to drink. Don't use some cheap-ass wine. And then we'll let that cook off a little bit. Add in the Muddica, and it'll be pretty much done. Now the pasta is ready to go in. I like that al dente, and I save a little of the pasta water to kind of loosen up the sauce if you need it. And it gives you that little starch as well. So I'm going to sit this for about 10 more minutes. No sense in you watching this. I'm going to go have a glass of wine. All right, we're back. So these shallots are nice and soft. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the garlic. And contrary to my earlier was telling you, I didn't put it in a prep bowl. Just bam it in there. That's okay. And got this little thing here. And then I'm going to add in the lemon zest, which is about, off of 3 lemons. All right. And before I add in this Muddica, I'm going to put this lemon zest in there. I'm going to squeeze some fresh lemon in there. Be careful. You don't want to get the pits in there. So you kind of cup it in your hand so the juice falls between your fingers, and not, you're not getting the pits out. You can catch them. So that's that. I'm using 2 lemons. I like a lot of lemon in my stuff, so it's great. Now you'll toss that a little bit, right? And man, this you could see it, but you can't smell it. This is awesome. So now I'm going to take some of this great wine, maybe, I don't know, almost a cup, put it in there, and then we are always actually have a clean towel with you, because you're going to spill stuff, and you don't want the kitchen to be a freaking disaster when you're done. So now I got the wine in there, and I'll let that reduce a little bit before I put this spicy salami spread in there. And then, look, we're really almost done. So we're going to do that, let that simmer, and then put some cheese in there, and it's going to be great. And let me take a little break. I'll come back once this is simmered up, and I'll put the Muddica in there, and the salami, and we'll plate it. All right, we're back. So this is cooking, and now this is the Pappardelle. This brand is, you can use whatever Pappardelle you want. I like this brand. It's Velotia. It's what I like about it, it's divided into sleeves. So there's 8 ounces in here, and you could pull out a sleeve of 4 ounces. So you're just not kind of wasting it, 4 ounces is pretty good for like one person, but it's kind of nice. It comes into this little package like that, and it's pretty good. You get it at Central Market. It's a little pricey, but until I start making my own, I think it's fine.
We're back again, so this is still cooking. You want to stir it, you want to burn it. It just smells awesome. It's going to be hot as hell. Pasta's cooking. I like mine al dente, like I said. And then, what else? Black pepper. You want to add a little pepper to your liking. And I've already added some salt in here. And then eventually I'll put some crushed red pepper in here, because I like crushed red pepper. But again, this is going to be pretty hot, so if you're on the milder side, skip these steps, because they'll kick your ass. But good stuff, though. Anyway, so that's almost done. I've got the parsley in there, the cheese will go on top. And we're just kind of waiting for that pasta to cook, and then we'll put it on a plate and be done. So, here we go.
All right, so we made it through. I just added a little bit of the pasta water, because you don't want this to get too dry while you're waiting for your pasta. And now I'll start taking the pasta out. So, what I do is I use these like big old pinchers here and take it out. So it still has a lot of the liquid in it. I don't like to do it in a colander or a drain or anything like that. I think it's just pretty cool to do this. Get it in there. You're still getting some of the pasta water with it. It's okay. It just adds to the sauce. I mean, you got that. I'm going to have to clean up here a little bit, but that's all right. So, it's not much pasta. This is for me. And then we're going to plate it. I think I got everything I can get in there. Now, you just want to kind of toss it in here. I don't know if you could see me because I got the pot in the way, but this here, you toss that. And then when we put it in the plate, we'll cook it a little more because I have this pasta al dente, so it'll cook a little more in this plate. And this is just, man, I could feel the heat off of this. So, you know, I've got enough parsley in here. I'll throw it on the top, maybe a little sprinkle on a little bit of that, you know, and then cheese now, so it kind of melts in there. And there you go. I'm not a big salt guy because a lot of this stuff has salt in it already. I've added some pepper. Might want to do a little more, but then when I plate it, you know, I'll put some red pepper in there and cheese and everything else. So that's about ready to be plated, and then I'll do that, and we'll come back. I'll take a picture of it. We'll see the final product. We'll toast, and then I'll eat. You do whatever the hell you're doing. All right, I'm back. So I plated it. I don't know if you could see it. It's beautiful. I'll take a still picture of it, but you know, a little sort of flat leaf parsley on the outside with cheese, sort of like a presentation. And then I'm gonna put like that the Muddica I was telling you about. You just sprinkle that on top, and it gives you that crunchiness to it. And I mean, that's awesome. It's hot, and bon appetit.